Hello, I'm Thal Smith, and today I'm reviewing The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So, obviously, this book is awesome. Yes, like all the exposition was set up in the first book, so we have a much brisker pace in the second one, and so much awesome stuff is going on. We got the whole Battle of Helm's Deep going on, and we obviously got them actually facing off against the spider and all that jazz, and it's just a great book. Obviously, I don't know. If there's much I can say that has already been said. I figured since I have the time, I might as well do a little comparison of the films to the books real quick. But this book is the best example of how differing the structures of the films are to the books. So the first chapter is the fall of Boromir, essentially. The whole first chapter is basically what happens at the end of the first movie. There's slight variations, but the only really thing is that there's more action in the film because it's a film. So, but yeah, the departure aspect of Boromir's death and so forth actually happened in this book, but they moved that to the first of the ending of the first film. Interesting enough. Then the other thing that they changed was in the books they did this really great, brilliant thing where they would split the books in two parts. One part focusing on Merry, Pippin, and Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas, and then the other side will focus on Sam and Frodo, and of course Gollum, who becomes more apparent in the second book and the third book. So you see that structure where it's very, very different. It's interesting seeing the changes in structure, basically, as well as visuals. Like a good example of what I mean of change in visual. This really good example of just the difference in mediums. In the book, we only get a reference of the King of Rohan. His son dies, right? It's only really referenced in the book in some conversations. It's really well done. Don't get me wrong, because Tolkien is a great writer, but it's still just told to us. But that you can't do anything told good in a film as well anyways. So Jackson did the smart thing of actually visualizing it. So you get this whole scene actually showing all these dead bodies of this after battle like field thing, and we find the dead corpse of the king and whatnot. It's just really interesting to see from that perspective, but it's also just interesting to read the book as it is, and it's obviously a great book on its own accord, and if you haven't read it, read it.